kanina, tama ba ako?
Yes, winan kanina yung Valir ng LPE. So,
Yes.
ayun nga, we are heading on to the drafting phase for our second game of our second series between Happy Feet Emperors and Laus Autogroup Playbook Esports Eagles. And of course, looking into our bans once again, Rob, still similar to what we've seen during game number 1. Para naman sa akin, for the side of Happy Feet Emperors right here, I think it's a little bit of mixture between their yesterday's match, game number 1, between SMO, and for their today's match in game number 1. Well, when I say mixture, why? Because during those yesterday's fights, maganda yung pagkaka-fortify nila ng side lanes dito eh. So they were able to take at least the early game potential that made Smart Omega readjust themselves para sila naman ang makapag-online dito, and that was the Kufra from yesterday. So ngayon, for today's match, bakit ko i-mix up dito? Because they need that early game aggression from yesterday, and for now, they have to work with is their mid to late game potentials dito. And kasi I think yun na lang yung nagiging kulang for the side of Happy Feet Emperors. They need the follow-up damage, and they also need to know when and who to prioritize for this game.
Yeah, I agree. Looking at here on the bans, they're banning this Dibasha and as well with the Esmeralda. This only gives it Eagles that Happy Feet Emperors would still gonna go for like Uranus on their draft, or rather, what else pa ba yung mga nagiging hero dito ng HF? I think Selena. I think Selena is one good pick. Nakita natin on the previous series with Bren and Smart Omega. Selena was definitely a game changer. Pero sa ganitong klase ng banning ng Emperors, this only states or giving a hint for Eagles that the Uranus might be their priority on the draft.
Yes, and actually, during yesterday, maganda yung performance ni CHICHIE in terms of him using the Isan Shin. Timely yung pagkakagamit niya ng ult dito, and him being able to give that damage and to apply a bit pressure for Smart Omega from yesterday, it means that he was pretty efficient with it. It's just that, like what I've said, medyo they went on a downward side when it came to the middle and late game. And of course, for this specific day naman ngayon, I think they have to just really know which hero can complement yung strategies na talagang kaya nilang ma-execute at the same time that can really do them the favor.
Yeah. So, Seiya, I'm really leaning towards the Uranus dito for the side of the Empress. I mean, kanina sobrang reactive niya because it's all because of the Esmeralda on the side. Pero if ever man the Uranus will be picked here, probably a Selena would be open for the Eagles, even for an Alice once again para sa kanila. Maraming open dito or even the Barats wasn't even banned.
Yes.
So ang daming open ngayon for the side of the Emperors, and I think Barats can be a very good pick for their side. Yun nga lang, are they willing to go against a Uranus? Are they willing to go against an Alice? And yeah, the Barats will be there. I think it was partly planned for the Eagles to open up those heroes that alam nila the Barats will be the priority ngayon for the Emperors. Uranus is open, Alice is open, even Selena. Sobrang daming pwedeng gawin ng Eagles on these two picks nila ngayon.
Indeed. As you mentioned, a lot of heroes are open here for the side of LP, and I like it. I think I find it very courageous that Happy Feet Emperors will be taking this Barats right here. Because gaya nga ng nabanggit, even with our previous casters before, Barats here, kumbaga he was like a hidden gem that at first you wouldn't really find Barats to be really good in terms of the team play. But if you get the mix and if you get how timely or how well this hero gives a lot of crowd control for the team, it's really nice. And I think for Happy Feet Emperors to do this is they have to do it in a very timely manner kung gagamitin nila tong Barats na to. So they have to complement it with a hero that is pretty good on their side. Para naman sa side ng LPE, they will be focusing on the mage right here, which is the Lunox. I think this is going to be one of the damage dealers that they will be having. And Alice, feeling ko magiging sideline nila to dito, if I'm not mistaken, it's specifically the gold lane right here, maybe doing the similar thing that they did during game number 1. So nandahil nga dito, open na ang Khalid and Lancelot. Yes.
I really liking the pick here for Happy Feet Emperors, at least for the first 3 picks that they had. Pero for LPE, they just stick to what they're supposed to pick. I mean, this is almost the same draft that they had earlier. Siguro gonna be minus. Probably the Roger could still be viable for their side, but the Kufra will be there. And medyo ramdam mo rin yung luluks no pagkadating sa mga rotation nila. And given that the LPE, the way they rotate, sobrang bilis. Mararamdaman mo sila on either of the lanes, and they could definitely capitalize on wherever, kung saan sila magro-rotate. They definitely gonna take something like an objective, at yung ikot nila kadalasan were in doon sa may bandang turtle lane. Now, for Happy Feet Emperors, they have to find a good mage here. Ang mangyayari dito, Eagles would definitely ban yan, a Valier and a mage. One good pick probably that they could have is like a Farsa. Even Selena is still okay on their side, pero I think the Farsa, they need a minion wave clear. If ever Happy Feet Emperors doesn't pick a minion wave clear, it's almost gonna be the same of what happened earlier. Nakakasabay sila in terms of on pick-offs, pero hindi sila makapush kasi wala silang mabilis na pampatay kagad, or rather nga ng pang minion wave clears.
True. And again, for the side of Happy Feet Emperors, as you mentioned, I really like the first 3 picks that they have. It's very fundamental and it complements the picks. For the side naman, they will be banning out the Link, which is, I think, they find it, it's a nice ban. Considering na yun yung isa sa mga kailangan ng LPE ngayon natin dito is their jungler or their gank as well. So them having the land slot, it's going to narrow down at least a bit for the side of LPE. But I find it interesting because LPE also has interesting picks of their own dito. And seeing as, I think for the side of LPE, pagkatapos nila mag-ban dito for the 5th and final one, ang kulang nila dito is the jungler, and I think another another side laner, or I think another support that can really help them in terms of initiation.
What's the I'm looking here kung ano yung magiging final ban ng Happy Feet Emperors as the Eagles doesn't have their core yet, and the only ones open, I guess, sa mga ginagamit ng Eagles was only the Roger, since the Ling was already been banned. Napick na rin yung Lancelot. So what's gonna be yet for the Eagles? Or are they gonna be going like the YSS, or even yung mga, well, Brody was not gonna be on the as well with Hellkurt. So iniisip mabuti ito ng Happy Feet Emperors. Yun yung mga wala Even side lane. Kulang pa ng side lane dito ang Eagles. So ang dami pang open for their side, and I guess the best ban for Happy Feet Emperors dito, wow, it's gonna be the X board. That's a very interesting ban.
It is, actually.
Given that there are a lot of things na pwede pa, but of course, this is Coach Panda. He already anticipated this one. And this is not, rather, it was Happy Feet Emperors who actually banned the X board. So Tamus still, by the way, Tamus is very good against Abarat, specifically on level 1.
Ito yung sinasabi ko nga kanina, that Happy Feet Emperors has to be very careful in terms of banning. So, when they banned out the X-Borg, I was supposed to mention that it could have been better if it was a Tams, because as you mentioned, that this is a very good counter against Barats right here. So, dahil nga, ang binan nila dito is the X-Borg, it's going to automatically be a Tamos onto the other side now, which we did mention that they just needed one more offlaner right here. So, I like it though how LPE banned out the Hilda, kasi kanina during game number 1, although we didn't see more or much of a limelight, pero meron kasi siyang moments din dun na pin down yung Alice, if you remember, and was able to get the kill. So this is a very nice ban coming in from LPE. But ito, yung binabanggit mo kanina dito, Rob, was the Selena pick. But interesting that they will be locking in the Chang'o right here, because I understand, because this could really potentially freeze lanes and go for those minion takes right here. The thing is, like I said, Happy Feet Emperors kind of lack the follow-up damage. So after the meteor showers dito ng ating Chang'o, this could really leave this specific hero a vulnerable moment na pwedeng pumasok dito ang isa mga actually offlaners or kahit yung mag-gank sa kanila dito. So they really have to take care of this Chang'o para sa akin kasi kung hindi, this could be difficult for them again to escalate.
Actually, it makes sense. It makes sense. So what you're actually saying is that, totoo.
Because like what we said again, they have to protect this Chang'o right here. Kasi okay, sure, what if nga naman kung yung Alice pumasok sa likod, pero there's also this consideration that what if the Shen uses his ult as a follow-up damage kung sakaling nakatakas nga ang ating Chang'o. But you know what, let's find that out, Rob Luna, as we are heading now onto the second game of our second series between Happy Feet Emperors and Laus Playbook Esports Eagles.
Yes, pero ito bugbogan kagad sila dito sa gitna, and Reggie will be taking the first beating dito. And this is what I would like dito sa ginawa dito ng Happy Feet Emperors. Though BEEMO is already going here. Kumbaga hindi nila kagad, most other teams would definitely go for the purple buff. Pero ito anticipate ito, alam nila yung invade na naman. And this is a time na mauubos for the side of the Happy Feet Emperors once again.
Oy! Okay, you know what? That was a good attempt coming from last one, but the Thomas is just gonna go for the cleanup right here. But HFE show, let's see if he will be having that trade here against BEEMO. BEEMO is going to dash out away in terms of safety. Bouncing ball uses for a bit of immobility right there. But you know what? The Chang'o still goes for the chase and gets a trade. So, so far so good in terms of kills. Happy Feet Emperors was able to take down 2 in favor, and I mean in against 1 for the side of LPE. But here we are seeing Kyle and JAKETHEDOG just trying to really poke themselves right here, with Kyle being on the advantageous space here and left the Alice on a bit of a beating dito and forces him to back away.
Mas maganda na ngayon ang start dito. Unless mamatay dito si Jay, cancel or rather marireset dito yung orange buff. So medyo may mga time na nasayang dito for the side of the Emperors. Pero I think it's a better way to start the game compared to what they had nung first match nila dito sa series na to. And it's all because that they have this early game kit na meron sila. JAYPZ dito, we're actually doing well regardless man na medyo yung ibang kumbaga, muntik-muntik pa siya dong mamatay, and also getting the kill from the purple buff. Pero dito on the top lane aspect here.
Alright, okay, let's see. I think that was a good call for LPE to disengage that time, kasi syempre walang minions and you don't wanna get hit by the tower, right? So that was a good call coming in from LPE, kasi it kind of diminishes the casualty part. Oh, look at this, Barrett will be going for the initiation, taking BEEMO onto the tower, and of course Lancelot will be taking a kill. That is a good initiation coming in from Barrett right there. So at least paunti-unti, we are now seeing HFE taking a bit of control here onto the bottom side of the map.
Mas nakakasabay na sila ngayon, given as well with the with the vision na pinoprovide in the JAYPZ with his traps and the rotation that they are doing. So ang nangyayari ngayon is that nagsasabayan sila dito, and who's actually getting ahead in terms sa ganitong sitwasyon. I think the Eagles are slightly nakakasabay, or rather given the kills was on the Happy Feet Emperors, ang nag-set pa rin ng tempo was definitely the Eagles.
Yes, indeed, and again another fight is gonna come here. I think LPE really did a call there as well into diminishing Regi's health bars right here. Para nga naman they will have prioritization in terms of this objective stake. So they will try to contest, but the Shen was able to go for that retribution, and off to the attack they go. Alice comes in with the lifesteal, Shen for the free hit and takes a kill for himself. So basically, kung ano man yung gap na nakuha na Happy Feet Emperors kanina, na-diminish at ngayon, talagang bumabawi na ang LPE, going in with this tower diver here with no hesitations, and Kyle is going to be taken down by the Lunox with a 4-man people here onto LPE. Reggie will be trying to take at least a damage to BEEMO, but BEEMO is just gonna bounce himself away to safety.
Ang ganda nung pagkakahuli ni BEEMO doon to the 2 members of the Emperors. Yeah, to start off that fight. Pero ito may laban na naman dito na magaganap mga kaibigan. Pero medyo nabiglas doon si BEEMO. But Reggie will be falling down para sa side ng Happy Feet Emperors. Pero hindi pa sila umiinto dito saya.
Okay, so we are now seeing the lifesteal capabilities of that Alice earlier, and really made Reggie low and taken his life away there. So I like how Reggie attempted to go for that counterplay, kasi kakatapos lang natin ng fight with LTE having the upper hand. But the thing is, again, the follow-up damage is there. It's just that this time yung position at yung numbers, of course you are still in the advantage when your numbers are into your favor, which is nasa kamay ng LTE during that time. So again, this calls for them going back into actually getting economy from their respective lanes. And I think mukhang yung action pupunta naman sa top side this time.
Oo, sa top side nga. Pero yung araw buwan tumama doon kay RYOTA pero hindi naman siya doon first out. REGI is falling low but Queen Sun Guard hindi enough para mabuhay. And JAKETHEDOG still doing what he does on game number 1. Kinukuha lang niya yung mga side lane or rather yung mid lane or just getting all the orbs he need. Grabe, JAKETHEDOG with the Laus plays dito mga kaibigan. But the arrow will connect and a burst, pero mabubuhay nga kaya? That's gonna be the question dahil hindi. Kinain na siya dito ni Kyle and BEEMO still on the run, Seiya.
Alright, so BEEMO was able to actually corner out Kyle earlier there, but that it's enough to actually keep him distracted so that the other members may fall back at least to safety. So the second objective of the turtle is going to be here, but they will be opting for a reset. Actually, no. Happy Feet Emperors are eyeing out for this objective here. So BEEMO with a half health, tignan natin if it's going to work out, is trying to hover up here, will connect to no one, bouncing ball to go to safety and with the flicker as well. But the Essential was able to steal that turtle take coming in from Happy Feet Emperors, and that was actually worth it for the side of LPE. No casualty plus an objective to boot.
Indeed, indeed. Ang nangyari ngayon dito, no, they do have this Barrets, kaso hindi nila na fully utilized. Kasi ang nangyari dito, the Barrets was just staying on the bottom lane wherein kaharap niya dito sa JAKETHEDOG. Yes, hindi masyado nakakapag-push, pero look at that. Look, using the Detonas welcome, pero there's no slight of damage na may kita mo rito for JAKETHEDOG, and it's gonna be hard. The arrow will not connect, and isa na naman, outer turret ang mawawala para sa Emperors.
Alright, but you know what? I think that could be a similar tower take onto the top side dito with Chang'o and company, but the Thanos is doing pretty well in actually containing that. But dito tayo balik sa ating bottom side, JAKETHEDOG just trying to distract Selena, and of course the 3 members will just go for the tower dive and take the kill. So kahit walang minions na yan, Rob, they are still going in with, not much of a risk to take. And speaking of risk, Reggie here will be going for the aid para nga naman hindi mapitas itong si Chang'o from the top side.
Oh, this gonna be a disaster talaga, Seiya, para sa side ng Emperors as they slowly I really thought na mas maganda na itong naging start nila because they have that good na-prevent nila yung invasion kanina on the early game. Tapos after that, wala na naging progression dito ang Emperors, and I think they need to make something happen dito. Like for example, they could group up or rather have Kyle na siya yung talagang mag-front line dito for the side of the Emperors. Kasi if this goes on and on, Eagles will definitely just go on pushing their side, all their lanes, and get the Lord. And from there, nag-snowball na sila ngayon eh. Diba?
Yes.
So paano ngayon na magiging bawi? And it's all about the Emperors. Yung mga decision nila sa start ng laban na to, kailangan talaga mag-matter or else it's gonna be the Eagles again.
Agree, and like we mentioned during the drafting phase, for this Barrets to work, they have to do it in a very timely place. And how could that time really happen if the ganks and the rotations coming in from LP is just too real? Look at this, ganking Barrets again, solo here with a 4-man up composition or 4-man people here for the side of LPE, and again diminishing the health of that tower onto the top side. So again, going back, Happy Feet Emperors, for this to work, they have to place their skills in the right time. Pero nakita natin kanina, I think at least this was a while back, we see that pumasok lang si BEEMO and already the Lancelot forces his ult into going back. So that is one of the things that they have to consider. Kasi what if ginamit ni Lance yung ult na yun? It's on cooldown and LPE decides to go in for, a potential fight. So wala siyang magagamit doon, wala siyang skills na magagamit doon because it's already on cooldown, he was already using it. So I think for Happy Feet Emperors, they really have to pick their fights wisely and to use their skills as timely as possible. Kasi ang maganda dito is Kyle knows how to initiate, and he knows how to actually take at least one member of LPE and place it in a position kung saan maraming tao kung nasa ng Happy Feet Emperors, diba? Ang problema lang talaga dito is how they place their skills and how actually the time. That's really what the efficient thing that they have to do right now. Because speaking of time, JAKETHEDOG tries to just enter, but that is just for harassment. Hindi yun yung actual na fight talaga na magsisimula.
Yes, hindi yun yung actual fight. Pero I think the Eagles here are just being too disciplined. Pero I think Happy Feet Emperors need to make something happen. Mukhang susugod yata sila pero not this time daw, sabi ng mga Emperors. Pero What now, Zaya? No, I mean, they've already been choked out, and the Eagle here are just waiting for the next 30 seconds to be able to take down the first Lord of the game. Ang liit ng kills natin dito. This is a 5,000 lead with only 2 difference on the kills. Paano ba ang nangyari dito for the Emperors? Hindi sila nagkaroon, yung mga rotations nila doon, hindi nako-convert into objectives. And I think it was the part na nagstay yung Barats doon sa baba. Now, nakikita natin na sumasama ngayon dito si Kyle, pero it might a little bit too late kasi hindi na nila magagawa yung pag-invade doon sa mga buffs dito ng Eagles. Pero probably they could make something happen dito. JAKETHEDOG, lagi siyang nag-overstay, lagi siyang nag-overcommit. Pero this is only a diversion. Kasi the reason bakit nagiging ganyan si JAKETHEDOG kasi kumukuha ng ibang objective ang Eagles, and this has been happening even on the very start of the game.
Okay, so also we've been noticing that the Chang'o, who's supposed to be one of the supports or the carries or the burst damage right here, hindi siya nagiging online at this point. If you notice on BEEMO, wala siyang ganong damage, and Meteor Shower is gonna be used. Will be getting that steal from the Lord, but this is an opportunity for LP to go in. Lunox will be cleaning up the area by taking down the Lanson, and they're not gonna stop here. Alice with that life steal goes on, but with the stuns right here, it's enough. Good thing Barrett was able to take out his dragon right here, enough to actually, disengage. Go for the disengage for the side of LTE. And actually, it wasn't the dragon, it was actually the orange buff. Titamaan niya para matamaan si Alex. Yun, I'm so sorry, magkamukha kasi sila. Anyway.
No, it's okay, Zaya. Pero that was very unfortunate for the side of the Emperor. At least, this gives them breathing room for them to be able to scale. They still have this Chaos Bolt spam niya. Talagang all-out offensive ang pinapakita dito ng mga heroes, or rather, ng mga players ng Eagles. And Emperors, nagkaroon sila ng breathing room, just stealing that Lord, pero this is still not enough for them to win the game. They need to take turrets dito for the side of the Eagles. Probably, makakuha pa sila ng mga, it's not lucky, probably, you have to be miraculous here on the side. Nagkakaroon na ng damage dito, mga kaibigan ng Lancelot. Even the Khalid could be able to go onto the backlanes just to disrupt Aztec.
Alright, so gaya nga nasabi mo, no, they need this miracle fight coming in from Happy Feet Emperor. I think this is a double-edged sword coming in sa kanila kasi I think let's say sabihin natin they need to go as sneaky as possible to actually get Isan Shin here. Kasi we already mentioned na aspect dito, maganda yung position niya. At the same time, he knows when to use his ults properly and his free hits. You have to take note of that as well, and the damage that he inflicts upon Happy Feet Emperors. So, I think they have to take him down, at least with the skirmish fight. But, of course, like I said, it's double-edged. So, them taking down the YSS here also means that, number one, it could sacrifice other areas being vulnerable and open. And number two, it could also cost the life of other members. But speaking of this, JAKETHEDOG just really taking a lot of time para makapunta si RYOTA dito for the aid and actually taking down one member, which is CHICHIE, yung dapat manggagang sa kanila here. And we are now seeing that 5 men of LPE are onto the bottom side, eyeing out for this tower, just waiting for the minions to come in. And let's see. So Kyle has to do here is to actually get one of these squishier targets para sa LPE para mawala yung nagbibigay ng damage output sa kanila, and that could be a potential, turnaround.
Yes, potential turnaround indeed. Pero like what you said, Emperors dito, they have this toolkit on the side of the show na hindi sila agad-agad na mapupush. And that all thanks to the Chang'o. Pero the next Lord, it might be a different case. Then yes, they got the steal from the first Lord, pero the second Lord will be a little bit trickier dahil alam na to ng Eagles that may mga potential. And for the Emperors, they need to stop this, yung mga pickups dito on the, they could definitely trade, pero not with CHICHIE. And not with the Chang'o, the Lancelot dito, sila yung dalawang pinakamahalagang hero dito for the side of the Happy Emperors to be able to come back onto this game. And from this moment, kailangan nilang at least maging somehow like tanky. Pwede nila, ang hirap kasi, no? Nag-group up na rin kasi talaga yung Eagles, eh. Even, ang pinag-usapan natin kanina, what's gonna be the point of initiation ng Emperors? That's gonna be an arrow from JAYPZ. Pero if all the members of the Eagles are magkakasama, or rather, 4 sila, nakahiwalay lang si JAKETHEDOG. Ang hirap. And the only one na pwede nilang i-burst probably, or at least ma-burn man lang nila yung Winter Truncheon and as well with other spells dito, it's gonna be JAKETHEDOG. And they probably need, or rather, na i-focus yon, pero the Lord will be up on the next 5 seconds. Ang nakakatakot pa dito siya, even a single Thanos could be able to solo this Lord.
And speaking of that, tingnan mo kung paano nakaposisyon ng LPE dito. Alice really confident in, alam niya na confident siyang into actually taking down these 1 or 2 members of Happy Feet Emperors. And you look at this, BEEMO, ARVS are just in the area to just distract them and to prevent them from going into the Lord area. Meteor Shower is going to be used. Now it takes, there's this certain type of window na hindi niya magagamit ito. And it's just like that. Both the Eason Shin and the Thanos was able to take the second Lord. So this is looking good in terms of pushing for the side of LPE. Now, conditions here for the side of Happy Feet Emperors, they have to take down that Lord which is on their way onto their top side kasi we are seeing na decrease yung health ng tower doon sa ating top, and if this Lord goes there, again, it could expose another area for their side, which kind of narrows down yung options nila in terms of taking economy, at ang tanging pupunta na lang sila sa kanila na pera is the incoming minions that is seen right now. So again, for the side of LPE ngayon, this is a perfect position or a perfect chance for them to apply the pressure. How? Lord onto the top side, them going for the split push. Pero mukhang dedicated nila dito onto the top side. Meteor Shower is gonna be used, but not only to connect through the Lord, and JAKETHEDOG just distracting them here onto the base itself. The boat is going to be used right here, but only to Alice, which is surprising because it could have been used with the 4 people onto the middle side. Now we are now seeing here that BEEMO will be taking a lot of damage, but at what cost? Sacrificing both the top and the bottom power onto the base that they have right here. And look, is BEEMO still alive with all of that fiasco, but the channel will be taking a trade. But again, at what cost? Exposed na lahat ng areas nila dito, and they might be going for a fight or a counterplay on their own.
Yes, at medyo there's gonna be a good opportunity for the side of the Emperors. They have to YOLO this Seiya. Why? It's all because wala na eh. Kumbaga, ang ganda ng pagkakapasok doon ng Eagles. Sinabay niyon, even RYOTA not even attacking on a single minion doon sa may bottom lane. That's the reason nagkasabay-sabay yung mga minion together with the Lord onto the top lane. And this is the only window of opportunity para sa Emperors, mga kaibigan, para makapag-push. And I don't think enough dito ang arsenal, or rather the toolkit for the side of the Emperors to be able to push even here on the outer turret pa lang, the first turret here on the mid lane, pero they're going against ARVS. Will they be able to bring down dito RYOTA? Pero it's not gonna be possible dahil sobrang kulat pa rin ng Thanos dito. Ladies and gentlemen, wala nang tore dito ang Emperors, yes. Pero how about this? Will the Eagles will be pushing here? Mga kaibigan, that's the big question. Pwede nilang hintayin ulit yung Lord Seiya. Still gonna be a long way. That's gonna be a 90 seconds. But I guess, hindi na kailangan hintayin yon. Pero, nawala. I think, the window of opportunity para sa side ng Emperors, from that moment, yung pag-push nila, or rather, pag-chase nila doon, nawala na. Nakabalik na ang side dito ng Eagles, and Happy Feet Emperors, they have to make something here. They could potentially go for like a YOLO play na makuha nila dito si Aspect, pero it's gonna be hard. It's definitely gonna be hard.
And the backdoor potential coming from LPE is possible right here. Pero mukhang Devour and will be going in through the sides. But you know what? The lifesteal of JAKETHEDOG is just real at this point. So it's not really gonna take him down that easily right here. And RYOTA onto the backside can actually pin down one member of HFE. But buti na lang nakapag-disengage sila going back to the base. But up to what extent? You have to take note, if they want to wait for the Lord, they have to defend this with all their might. And when I say that, they really have to prevent more skirmishes na nafe-fail nila.
Totoo yan. Pero mas nagiging parang matapang yung Happy Feet Emperors dito. It's like the feels na there's nothing to lose. Wala na tayong tore. Let's get out. Kumbaga, we're being too reactive for the last 10 minutes nitong laro na to. White as well. Pasukin na natin to. RYOTA overcommitting dito, mga kaibigan, but meron naman siya dito immortality and gonna be going out, at wala pa rin ditong namamatay for the side of the Eagles. Ito, ramdam na yun dito ng Eagles na hindi nila basta-basta pwedeng pasukin ngayon dito ang Emperors. But The Lord is still for the taking. We're still on the 20-minute mark. Tingin ko, Arrow will connect doon pero hindi nila papasok yan. That's gonna be the Kufra. And somehow, Happy Feet Emperors, naubos yung tore nila dito pero ngayon pa lang sila nagkaroon ng tapang dito to go out on their base. They could have done this earlier pero hindi nila yon ginawa. Pero ngayon, since there's nothing to lose, there's nothing only to gain. Ito na, tingin ko, they have to make a very YOLO play dito na-steal nila yung Lord on the first time around. The second time was not. Pero JAKETHEDOG dito still giving a headache para sa side ng Emperors na pwede. And one of the retribution bearer dito ng Emperors was CHICHIE at preoccupied pa siya doon. At sinozone out siya ng Alice. Look at the map, ladies and gentlemen. Pero ang habol dito ng Emperors was just not only to steal, pwede rin nila to ipa-reset na lang Kyle. Going into the front lines dito for the Eagles. Pero siya yung unang mawawala sa kamay dito ni Arch. Well protected dito. Pero nandito si CHICHIE sa likod. Just waiting for the right moment para mag-phantom execution with the retribution. Pero makukuha nga kaya that's gonna be the question. Pero hindi. It's gonna be all about aspect. Pero si JAKETHEDOG already soloing the base dito ng Emperors. And congratulations of course to the Laus Autogroup Playbook Esports.